doesn't make any sense, Spike. None of these books even mention abyssals. Even the ones that talk about Discord don't mention the fact that he's an abyssal. And there are no mentions of the teachings of Abyssus either. And from what Guy tells me, he wrote at least one book that was pivotal in the ancient history of Equestria. But why can't I find it? Or even a mention of it? All our reliable histories begin with the reign of Celestia and Luna. Any mention of the time before that is little more than myth and legend, more speculation than actual history. But I know there was real civilization before Celestia. Guy is living proof of that. And where there is civilization, there are real histories. So where are they?
I don't know, Twilight, but you've been working awfully hard at this. You've been digging through old libraries for over a week now. You need a break.
I can't stop. Something is rotten in Equestria, Spike. Celestia is avoiding me. Think about that, Spike. Avoiding me. She won't return my calls, she's having secret meetings with Discord, and she's going everywhere dressed in her battle regalia. She should be happy. Guy is doing a great job on her quest, and demonstrating he has what it takes to be a true equestrian. But instead of being happy, she's getting stranger and stranger. I know her behavior has something to do with Guy, but according to him, they never met before. So there has to be something in the past that links the two of them. Perhaps it has something to do with the war Guy keeps mentioning.
Huh? That's interesting.
What, the war? I'm sure it is if I could ever find out anything about it. Other than the little bit he's told me after the incident with Pinkie Pie, he won't tell me anything else. He just says, I'm not ready.
Huh? No! I mean the story in the paper. It looks like Prince Ghidorah has been busy while you've been sorting through all these old books.
Busy? He hasn't done anything bad, has he?
Bad? Oh no. It says here he's partnered up with Filthy Rich and he's starting a mining company. Looks like it's doing pretty well, too. Prince Ghidorah bought a new house in the suburbs.
The Prince of Terror is living in suburbia.
Yep, he sure is. Hey, Twilight, did you know that Scootaloo was an orphan?
Yes, Spike, I knew. She didn't want any of her friends to know, though. She was afraid they would treat her different if they knew.
Oh? Well, I guess she doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Wait, Spike? Are you still reading the same article?
I sure am. Lucky little Scootaloo is a princess now. Prince Ghidorah adopted her.
He did what?
Come on, Scootaloo. Let's go hang out in your room for a while. I can see there's going to be some adult talk going on in here, and believe me, we don't need to hear it.
It's okay, Scootaloo. You are my daughter, and I will not even allow Celestia herself to change that now.
Fine. But if you're mean to him, Twilight, you'll have me to answer to.
I can see that you are upset, Twilight. Is it because I moved into Ponyville without your consent?
I'm actually happy you moved here. It shows you're willing to be a part of the community, and I can visit you much more easily. It also gives the ponies of Ponyville a chance to get to know you.
Then perhaps my partnership with Filthy Rich is an issue. Is he a political enemy?
Filthy Rich is not my favorite pony, but he's not my enemy. I'm glad that you started a business. Participating in the economy yet again shows that you have what it takes to be a true equestrian.
Then you disapprove of my adoption of Scootaloo?
Disapprove? Disapprove? Are you mad? That is the sweetest, kindest, most generous thing I've ever seen. And it makes me want to kiss you so bad it hurts.
Then your anger is an enigma to me.
How can you be so wise and so dense at the same time? You started a business, you bought a house, and you adopted a daughter, all without telling me about it. You know how I found out? Spike read it to me out of a newspaper. The newspaper! I was probably the last pony in Equestria to know about it. Do you have any idea how that makes me feel?
I can see how it makes you feel. However, we are not defined by our impulses. We are defined by our choices. A week ago you chose to disappear. You were not in your castle, and your guards did not know where you had gone. They informed me that you often disappeared when you were working on your projects and that this was normal for you. I chose then to put my trust in you, and accept the fact that you had chosen not to involve me in your project. I decided then to take some time off from Celestia's quest to meditate on the events surrounding my arrival in Equestria, as I still lack clarity on too many very important matters. It was during one of these meditations in the woods that Scootaloo and her friends happened upon me. Scootaloo found the courage to make her wish, and I chose to grant it. At that point, I could have used my power to track you down, and with the wave of your royal hoof, you could have overridden the authority of the bureaucrats and granted the adoption. But if you had done so, then I would not have had the opportunity to show Scootaloo to what lengths I was willing to go to adopt her, and denied her a chance to understand her worth in my eyes. Her own low self-worth was a big part of a major life issue, and therefore had to be addressed. By not involving you, the process of adopting Scootaloo addressed all her life issues at the same time. Now, after securing the adoption, I could very well have tried to find you and share my good fortune with you. However, as you had gone into seclusion for unknown reasons, I was unwilling to violate that seclusion for a matter that could certainly wait until your return.
Do you know how infuriating it is? That it is so impossible to stay mad at you? It's not fair. You read me like a book, but I can't even read your table of contents. It's like you're the best book ever written, but you're all in a language I can't comprehend. Is it always going to be like this with you?
It is my desire that you understand me, Twilight, and I have faith that you will in time. For now, though, your faith is all I require to move forward.
You're right. This news made my faith waver. It made me think you were already forgetting about me and moving on with your life. It sounds awful, but I actually felt jealous of a crippled little orphan girl.
The immortal alicorn princess of friendship, jealous of a crippled orphan girl? That is indeed terrible.
Now you're making fun of me, aren't you?
A little. But I am truly delighted, for it means that you desire to be my family as well. I can find no fault in that without also finding fault in myself.
Prince Ghidorah, I've had my eye on you since you arrived in Equestria, and now I'm quite certain I need your help something fierce. If you can help me, we'll be friends for life.
I certainly will help if I can. What is your wish?
I need you to help me kill somebody. It happened when I was a filly, Ghidorah. My mom and pa were both murdered right on the farm. You see, once in a while a pony will grow up and never get a cutie mark. These adult blank flanks are viewed as talentless, cursed, or both, and end up barely getting by doing odd jobs or living off handouts. My ma had a soft spot for these outcasts and often hired them to do work around the farm. One of these cursed ones decided he wanted more than a day's wages. He raped my ma, then murdered her. When my pa walked in on it, the monster murdered him too. Worst part of it all was he did it all while I was in the room. I saw it all, Ghidorah, but I can't remember any of it. Granny Smith and Big Mac returned early from their visit with family and scared the beast off, or he probably would have done to me what he'd done to my ma. The only reason I know I was in the room is because Granny Smith told me that's where she found me. The Royal Guard searched for the stallion that done it. My ma, pa, and me were the only ones that ever saw his face, and they were dead and I couldn't remember anything, so they had little to go on. After a while, they gave up looking for him, and I've been left with a void in my heart the size of a barn. I've tried to forgive and forget, Ghidorah. I really have. Right after it happened, I couldn't even stand to be on the farm anymore, and I went to stay with relatives in the big city. But the change of scenery didn't help. I was still haunted and empty. So I came back and buried my feelings under a ton of apples. I worked hard from dawn to dusk, and that helped for a while. But what you did for Pinkie Pie got me to thinking. She's not the only one that's been living a lie. I can't ignore it anymore, Prince Ghidorah. I ain't gonna be able to rest till that monster is dead and gone. And I don't rightly care anymore if that feeling is right or wrong. It's just what's gotta be done.
I see. You have a blood debt, and it must be paid.
I had a feeling you'd understand me, Ghidorah.
I do. However, I can only help you find this stallion. As the blood debt is yours, I cannot harm him for you.
That suits me just fine, Prince Ghidorah. I want to do this with my own hooves.
You must be made aware, however. There is only one way we can find the stallion using the power of terror.
I don't care what it takes, Ghidorah. I'll do anything to end this.
I can use my power to reawaken your long-lost memories of that night, so that you may remember the face of this killer. However, to unlock this memory with my power will cause you to relive every horrific moment of that night. Are you prepared to pay this price?
Ghidorah, I don't have a choice, do I?
You do have a choice. You can go on as you have been.
Sure. But that's not really any kind of choice at all, is it? I ain't really living. I'm just breathing. And it ain't enough for me anymore. I'll do it, Ghidorah. I'll do it for my ma and pa. I'll do it for me. How soon can we get this done? I'd rather be done with this sooner than later.
Tonight, Applejack. Scootaloo can stay with your little sister under the care of your Granny Smith for a few days. Once I unlock your memories, it won't take very long to find what you seek.
That's fine, Ghidorah. Scootaloo has always been and always will be welcome at Sweet Apple Acres. Tonight it is. Are you sure this is okay, Ghidorah?
Are you asking if your seeking to pay your blood debt is morally objectionable to me, or to you? If you are asking if it is morally objectionable to you, you were born and raised under celestial law, which forbids the taking of life for any reason. If you do this, you will be as guilty as he is in Celestia's eyes. And if you do not kill him, Celestia will at best reward his crimes with life in prison. But how is life an acceptable repayment for death? Given your upbringing, your moral baseline is likely to be contrary to your current course of action. However, it is very much in line with mine, and I have no objection to assisting you with this. So one last time I ask you, is finding this killer what you truly want?
Find him? Yes, that much I am sure of.
Then the covenant is struck. Return to my home at midnight. I will take you to a place of deep darkness in the Everfree Forest. There, where abyssal power is greatest, I will awaken the darkness within you, and you shall see the face of your parents' murderer. From there, I will lead you to this creature wherever he may be. Once we find him, my covenant shall be fulfilled, and the rest shall be up to you.
Well, partner, to say it in your manner of speech, so be it. You saw his face, too.
I did.
You can find him, then.
All that believe that darkness hides their wicked acts are naked in my sight. I have seen a vision of a town in the west, filled with earth ponies. They were calling out for help, for a villain hides in the wastelands and preys upon the weak and the innocent. I have found your foe, Applejack, and he has become only more monstrous in time. But you are exhausted, and it is late, and our journey will be a long one. You should rest. We can travel in the morning.
Nah. I ain't waiting no more. Besides, there ain't no way I'd be able to sleep tonight. We leave now.
As you wish. Have you ever used a gun before?
Well, no. Celestia has forbidden the ownership of guns in Equestria. She says they cause violence.
Madness. Was murder and violence invented with the gun? The wicked have no needs of guns to rape and murder, but the innocent have need of them to stop the same. What would have happened if you'd had a gun that night and known how to use it?
You don't have to sell me, Ghidorah. I see where you're going with this. I'm an earth pony. I ain't got no fancy magic to fight with, so if I'm gonna face him alone, I'll need a gun. I know he'll have one.
We will find an arms merchant when we are beyond the borders of Equestria, and I'll train you in the art of combat. We do not have a lot of time, but your years of apple bucking have made you strong. I believe I can teach you a few techniques that take advantage of that strength, that will overcome your enemy's superior expertise with firearms. My father insisted I master every manner of combat when I was growing up. He foresaw a time of great tribulation and wanted to prepare me for it. I cannot participate in your battle, but I can help you prepare for it. What do you have, stranger?
I'll tell you what I'll have. I'll have a reckoning. I'm looking for a stallion with a gimp ear and one good eye. I know he's been raising hell around these parts, and I know some pony in this bar knows where he is.
Maybe some pony does, but not likely any pony's gonna tell you. One Eye doesn't like visitors, and he don't like squealers neither. Ain't no one here gonna tell you nothing.
Oh, you fear One Eye, but you do not know the meaning of terror. One Eye can only kill you.
Alright, I'll tell you anything. He's in Beggars Canyon.
I am Ghidorah, the Prince of Terror, and if any of you try to warn One Eye, I shall return for you.
Well, what do we got here, boys? Fresh meat, and it's walking right up to us nice as you please. You got some nerve coming into my lair, my little pony. Don't think your dragon friend scares us none. We done put down more than one dragon in our time.
I am no mere dragon. I am Ghidorah, the Prince of Terror. And while the weapons you possess would indeed be formidable against a mortal dragon, they are useless against me.
That's so. Get 'em, boys. You truly are the Prince of Terror. You gonna kill me too?
Certainly not. You have nothing to fear from me. My covenant was just to find you, and that covenant is complete. If your stallions had not been so foolish as to attack the Prince of Terror, they may have all lived to see another day. Not that I mourn their choice or their fate, but your life belongs to Applejack. Perhaps you remember her and her farm? Sweet Apple Acres.
I'll see what's going on here. You made some kind of pact with this here devil to have a chance at me, didn't you, my little pony? Well now, that was a damn fool thing to do, 'cause if he ain't gonna stop me, I'm gonna kill you. But not right away. First I'll wound you, then I'll spend a few hours making you wish you were dead. And your little devil friend can watch the whole thing. How does that sound, Prince O'Terra?
It sounds like the howling of the damned, full of sound and fury, and meaning nothing.
What are you gonna do now, my little pony? Big old Celestia says killing is wrong, so you can't do nothing to me. Go ahead and arrest me then. We'll see if you can get me to trial. Then we'll see if you can convict me. Then we'll see if that jail can hold me. I reckon it can't. It couldn't before. Then maybe we'll see if I don't pay Sweet Apple Acres another little visit. As I recall, you had a sweet little baby sister.
Well now, Ghidorah, I reckon he's got a point. According to celestial law, all killing is wrong. What does abyssal law say about this conundrum of moral perplexity?
If you intentionally take an innocent life, that is murder. But if you kill a murderer, that is justice. And Justice is not just permissible, it's an absolute necessity. The debt of innocent blood must be paid.
Well, seems like it's not your lucky day, One-Eye. 'Cause an abyssal can kill you dead. And I reckon I'm a convert.
Wait, vengeance won't bring back your parents. It won't make you feel any better. Where's your mercy? Little ponies are supposed to forgive and forget.
I ain't no little pony no more. I'm an abyssal. And you, well, you ain't nothing. He was wrong, my prince.
Oh? About what?
I do feel better. I still miss Ma and Pa, but I feel like 1,000 tons of apples just been lifted off my shoulders. I have to say, I ain't felt this truly good since he took them from me.
Are you ready to go home?
Sit with me a while longer, my prince. I want to savor this. Every time I remember what he did to them, I want to remember the crows feasting on his giblets.